Yo, what's up guys? Before we start the video, I just want to let you guys know that we have a Discord server now, and we are actually hosting a Nitro giveaway. So it's posted by Loves, so make sure you thank him for the giveaway. But as you can see here, Premium Nitro ends in 5 hours, so you guys have pretty much the rest of today to get in. There's 50 entries and 1 winner, so it's not too big of odds against you, so you might as well just enter it for the fun of it, you know? No cost either. But we also have the channel that I'm making the video on today, the Hot Takes channel, where you guys can suggest your hot takes on the game or on my channel, it doesn't matter. Then we have the Suggestions channel, where you guys can suggest games that I'm gonna play in the future on live stream or on video, whatever you guys may want. And then we even have a Q&A section as well, where you guys can ask questions about me or whatever. But that's it. Quick little Discord shout out, and I'll leave the Discord in the description. But other than that, let's get right into the video. Alright, so for our first hot take, we have 2020 Halloween map was the best map. It was balanced and it had good spots for AFKing. Alright, so I don't remember which one this is, so let's go check. So I looked up 2020 Halloween map and this is what came up. There's a few of them, so I don't know which one it is, but I do have videos on my channel, so I'm gonna go check those out. Yeah, so I made videos on a Halloween map, but this was 2018, so I'm gonna assume this is the one he means. It's close enough, but this is the map. Now he did say there was spots for AFKing, so I'm assuming he means these caves and like this kind of mountainous area that would hide where you're at. Honestly, it's not a bad take, but I don't think this is a map that I would want to stay in the game forever. It's kind of like just an event map that comes around every now and then. That I wouldn't mind, but I wouldn't say it's the best map. Hot take debunked. For number 2, we have stream. I think Connor should try to stream at least once or 2 times a week. This can be on random days, but I think weekly streams would be nice. Now this hot take, perfect. I don't mind streaming 2 days a week. That's actually probably minimum of what I'm going to be streaming. If you guys have been on my channel, you guys can see that I've been streaming somewhat consecutively, but it's still randomly and, you know, spontaneous when I spark up a stream. The reason for that is because sometimes I just wake up later on days and go to the gym on different days, but you know, I'll try to spark up a stream every at least 2 days, probably more though. But hot take debunked or approved? I don't know. Should there be more glass beams in max servers? SDNA is already hard to get, and it would be helpful to get more beams, and I think that because SDNA skins cost so much, it's 5.5k for the top 3 skins right now, which is AV skin, Skilla skin, and the Mega skin. It would be nice to get more glass beams in the servers. Now, I know that in public servers, there's around 3 every 15 minutes, but with how expensive the skins are, I wouldn't mind if they upped it a little bit to maybe 5 every 10 minutes or something like that, especially since you gotta fight for most of the beams. So most of those 5, you're not even getting at least like 3 of them. But yeah, I don't mind this little hot take. I think it would actually be a pretty good suggestion. Hot take approved. Is 5k for Kraken OP? Kraken does spawn every 40 minutes, but if you server hop enough and let's say get 3 Kraken in 20 minutes because it takes around 5 minutes to kill, you could get 15k DNA in just 20 minutes, and that's a lot. And if there are enough servers and you do this for let's say 2 hours, 90k DNA right there. But it will be hard to farm it because all the other players want it. Is it worth trying to go for? What do you think? Me personally, I think it's worth trying to go for, but I don't think it's OP. It is a boss after all, and most people will be fighting you to try to get there first, so I think 5k is a reasonable price to set for this little mini boss in the game right now, especially since people were complaining how DNA farming was boring as it is or just tedious. I think this is a good little addition to throw in the loop just for people to have more fun and have a different way of farming until like quests come out. But hot take approved. Realism stats were the best 2018. So I'm assuming this was when like Rex did 580 damage. Oh my god! And you know, like 2-shotted quests. Now this, I'm not saying I don't approve of it because it is realistic. Rex would probably literally, you know, kill quests in like 2 to 3 bites, but it was very overpowered and it wasn't really easy to make things balanced, if that makes sense. But for fairness, I don't think the stats were the best. I think what they're doing now is a good branch out. You know, obviously people aren't happy with it because smaller things have an advantage over larger things because of how tanky they are and how they could survive while other people just fight for them. But I kind of agree with this, to be honest, if I'm I'm leaning more towards realism stats. Hot take approved. Event or just skins in general for dinosaurs should have different stats / abilities. Every time a dinosaur gets a skin with unique stats, it's a refreshing thing to play and often shakes the meta up a decent bit. Think Vilex, Kentralos, or Kaijusar Poseidon. These changes between the skins for the same dino make the game so much more diverse and also gives you an actual reason to collect skins besides being a no-life trader. Now this, I definitely approve, and I love how they've been changing the stats of the skins like Vilex recently. And if you guys also play, I think they changed just the diet of the Kaijusaro, unless they buffed it, I'm not sure. But I definitely think that skins should have a use other than just look-wise. Now, yes, it would kind of like raise the bar up for people calling the game unfair and pay to win and whatnot, but I think it's, you know, I don't think the skin's only use should just be for trading. I think you should get something else out of it, and I wouldn't mind some decent stats. Like, look at branded Parasaurs and once again Vilex, and I haven't really been seeing people complain about them, so I think they should start switching up the meta a little bit, giving skins different stats, or even, you know, like just different ranges. But I definitely agree with this take here. Connor should do a face reveal at 4K subs. It only makes sense for him to do so, or at least in my opinion. 4K, I think is a little bit low. You gotta keep the mystery up. Like, come on, you gotta have a little, you gotta
bro, damn.
have your mask on for a little bit longer than 4K. But I was thinking maybe 10K. Now, yeah, you guys may be like, oh, this guy's never gonna hit 10K. Oh, brother, no, we're never gonna see his face. Listen, with how your guys' support has been recently, 10K is completely not out of the picture. So, you know, just keep subbing up. Sigma. What does Sigma mean? Someone who's Sigma or not Sigma? What in the... Alright. I'll explain this brain dead once and once only. Sigma is like a Sigma male, like the alpha wolf of the group. You know, you're like, you don't take anything from no one. You're just a Sigma. You're all by yourself. That's it. That's all the Brainrot that I'm tapping into. Apex Hothead's redesign from release was 100% needed and 100% perfect. Apex Hothead on release was small, kinda lame, and not special in the slightest. The recent changes did absolute wonders for the skin. The size buff made it gargantuan, and the size and defense buff made it genuinely intimidating to encounter. The fact that the stalwart wall of a PvP dino is now locked to land really enforces the idea that it's a true danger to come across. Now that you can't hide away in the water like before, which is pretty passive and submissive if I'm real, the Apex Hothead can actually fill the role of a devastating lamb ship. Also, old Hothead was like that and that skin was peak. Now this, I somewhat agree with, but I don't think the stats that they replaced the swimming with is good enough to keep it on land, if I'm being realistic. Like, I think they give it 100 more health and like 15 more armor, which in my opinion, I just don't see being worth it. I'd rather have it be able to swim, or they buff it up a little bit for it to actually be, you know, called a decent pseudo swimmer or whatever it's called. But with how it is, I'd rather personally just use normal Hothead. That's just me though, because it can actually swim and it looks pretty much the same. But if they actually end up buffing it, this take is 100% agreeable. Nerf bleed mechanic. There is no skill in applying 10 bleed with Tuso. Now this, I totally agree with, because yesterday I had 10 bleed stacked and I had no chance of surviving. It's absolutely insane how crazy bleed in this game is. Like, it carries some dinosaurs, but at the same time, it's kind of needed, but it's just not needed to this extent. Armor does block, but most of the dinosaurs that are putting the bleed on don't even have armor in the first place, so it doesn't even really come into effect. But I personally, I think they should tone down the bleed just a little bit, just so it's a little bit easier for people to actually survive when they kill something. But that's just me. I don't know. And then the last one we have for today, should Mega and Terror come back for Black Friday? I think they should come back with the new hybrids. If they all get open, everyone will be able to decide what ones are more important, and a lot of new players are coming into the game. They should get the opportunity to get it. I think that's what he meant. I think it would be nice to be able to get the chance to have every dino in the game, and it's a great achievement to players to have everything, and for those who just need Mega and Terror, it would be great to have, let alone now that is easier to get DNA. We will see more of the players using the new dinos. This will add more PvP into the game because once a lot of the fan base have Megas and grow them, they will want to use them to fight others, causing more wars to happen. I personally think they should come back for at least a week. That's my thoughts. And then honestly, this response right here is probably what I was going to respond with. Everyone will want to get Mega and Albino. The new hybrids aren't going limited. Mega and Albino are. So now they shouldn't come back. and at the same time as the new hybrids. Yeah, I agree with this guy right here. I don't think Mega and Terra should come back unless it's Black Friday, which in the case they do come back, I think they have to up the DNA amount that it costed, because last time it came out for like 80k, and that was after people had exploited and duped DNA like crazy. So that's why there's so many Terras and Megas in the circulation right now. But that's my take. I don't think it should come back just randomly with the other hybrids, because once again, the other hybrids are kind of like a second AV. They're never going limited. They're just going to be sitting there for people who save up to buy them. But that's my take, and I think this is everything. This video was just a little fill-in for until the update came out today, which I think is going to have trading and other things, but we'll have to see. But other than that, that's the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Peace.
Yeah.